The Florida Insider Fishing Report is brought to you by YAMAHA. Reliability starts here. Guy Harvey Clothing by AFTCO. Bass Assassin and Saltwater Assassin. The best lures, period. Blue Water Outriggers. Everything for your outdoor adventures. Croquis, made in the USA. Drummond Community Bank. Costa. See what's out there. And Lumber Rock.
It's got the punch of a heavyweight and the pounds of a lightweight. Welcome to the main event featuring the new Yamaha 4-stroke F70. Tipping the scales at up to 142 pounds lighter than its 4-stroke competitors. That's a class-leading power-to-weight ratio, a haymaker of a whole shot, surprising mid-range punch, incredible fuel economy, and industry-leading innovation, performance, and reliability. The Yamaha 4-stroke F70. Reliability starts here.
At highway speeds, things can get pretty windy. That's why the Chevrolet Cruze Eco has active aero grille shutters that close at higher speeds to improve aerodynamics. With an EPA estimated 42 miles per gallon highway, the Chevrolet Cruze Eco offers the best highway fuel economy of any gas engine in America. Always thinking of ways to give you more while using less. That's American ingenuity to find new roads.
What is CCA? CCA has been representing recreational fishermen for over 25 years, and when your rights to fish are threatened, the CCA is there to make sure government regulators are making sound decisions. I'm a life member of CCA, and when fishery decisions are being made, the CCA in the room is fighting for our recreational rights. We need to give our kids the same opportunities to fish as we did. Do what I did. Go to ccaflorida.org and join for only $25 so you can protect your recreational angling rights.
Continuing the revolution. Faster, drier, even better built. Designed around Yamaha's latest technology outboards. Still built by the same craftsmen and anglers who launched the Bay Boat Revolution. Whether chasing world records, or time on the water with the family, or anything in between, there's a new Pathfinder model for you. Pathfinder, #1 for a reason, still.
Welcome back to the Chevy Florida Insider Fishing Report. Right now, we welcome to the studio Edward Bailey, Marketing Manager at Chevy. Now, Edward, we're told you're here to tell us about a lot of excitement coming in 2013 for bow tie fans.
First, welcome, Lauren, to the show. You're a great addition to the Chevy Florida Insider Fishing Show, along with Rick, and we've been glad to be partners for the last 11 years now.
Yeah.
So, but 2013 is a very exciting year for Chevrolet. We have 13 all-new or re-engineered products for 2013, and that's just here in the United States. Across the globe, we will have actually 25 new or newly re-engineered vehicles across the globe. So it's a very exciting year for 2013.
So Ed, what are we going to have as far as, a lot of people watch this show need a tow vehicle. Tell us what you got.
Probably the #1 introduction this year that everybody's been waiting for, and we start building it at the end of this year, is the all-new 2014 Silverado. The Silverado's got a great new look to it. The interior is awesome, but really the features that people are looking for are interior to it. That being the engine series, the 4.3 V6 that we have, the 5.3 liter that's been just an award-winning engine, and it's got class-leading fuel economy, 23 miles per gallon. It even beats our competitor's V6 right now. And then the 6.2 will also be back, all featuring the active fuel management, the direct injection, and the variable valve timing, which have been 3 key features to get that great fuel economy out of that engine.
Now, we don't just have, we got moms that watch the show, so you got this beautiful Traverse on the set. Tell us about that.
And my wife just bought one. We just bought a brand new 2014 Traverse, and it's not just the mom vehicle, or some people call it the soccer mom vehicle. It's for everybody. 5,200 pounds of towing. It's an all-around great vehicle. And again, it's a lot more about the interior. When you look at the 7th airbag we've added between the driver and the passenger, and the incredible MyLink system tied to the radio, getting you up to 70,000 radio stations across the globe, tied to your Stitcher, tied to your Pandora, tied to your phone. Just absolutely incredible technology in the all-new Traverse.
All right, Ed, we're going to talk about maybe how to get me one of those before you leave here tonight.
I'd love to.
All right.
I'd love to.
Hey, Ed, thanks. You know, and we're looking forward to the next 25 weeks talking about some of these new Chevy products, but more importantly, sharing it with the viewers at home. Don't go away.
And we'll have them here on the set.
That's it. Lauren, where are we going from here?
All right, traveling all the way south to our La Jolla region in the Florida Keys is where Captain Randy has been chomping at the bits to share a big fish story with all of you. And Randy, we sure do want to hear it, but first talk to us about Cobia.
Hey guys, good evening. You know, Cobia is a real popular fish for us down here. We've got them on the Atlantic side, we've got them on the Bay side, and they're caught different ways. Now, the Atlantic side, you need a boat with a tuna tower so you can spot the swimming stingrays, and a lot of these rays are coming up off the reef into Hawks Channel. So you're going to look for the rays swimming, and the cobias are going to be on the top of them. So you're going to want to look down in the water to find these rays, and you're going to find your cobias. Now, I was talking to Captain Paul Ross. He runs the charter boat, the Relentless, out of Bud Mary's. He's been doing pretty well the last week or so on cobias right here, but he said a lot of them are on the small side. Now, he's throwing live grunts, pilchards, or a pinfish on these cobias. That's the best bait you can throw to them. And he's fishing about a 3 or 4 ounce lead because you want it to get down. You're in 20, 25 feet of water, so you've got to get your bait down to where that ray is. And once you hook them up, it's almost like dolphin fishing. There's others around. You get other rods, and it's pretty exciting. Now, the Gulf, the backcountry, it's more on the wreck. You're going to do a similar thing where you're going to throw a crab or a grunt or a pinfish to these floating cobias on the wrecks in the Gulf. But both of them, certainly great fun if you're going to go either way. We've got plenty of them here.
All right, go ahead, Randy.
The yellowtail fishing, you know, I did it yesterday, and we had some great fishing, kind of a tough condition. And I always say conditions are key when you're going yellowtailing. Wind and the current you want going together. So your chum is flowing behind the boat. You want a good chum flow. You want to use a lot of chum with a big hole chum bag and give it some time. Right now it's patience. They're a little deeper. Normally they're in the shallow 50, 60 feet. Right now they're 60 to 80. You're going to want to give it time. You're going to want to chum, let those fish get up before you start fishing them, and be patient and use a 16th ounce hookup with a piece of squid or a silverside, and you're going to catch these yellowtails.
All right, let's go inshore, bud.
The backcountry fishing, you know, our red fishing's still good. It's something that we're all doing. Seems like every day at some point we're going to go red fishing. We're looking for the tide. Some guys like water moving on top of the flat where they've got a technical skiff and they can sight cast to them. Other guys are fishing in bigger boats, bay boats, and they're looking for the edges of the channels, the runoffs, some of these deep troughs around some of the islands. Now, we all like to throw our hookups, about a 1/4, 3/8 ounce hookup with a shrimp, and it seems like pinfish is working right now a little better because of this warm water. We've got the water up into the 80-degree range, so a lot of these fish are starting to eat the pinfish a little better than the shrimp. But certainly a good report from most everybody I talked to on the redfish, either on the flats or in the channels. I got one thing to talk about tarpon fishing. It's tarpon season, and here we are getting ready. We've got some heavy winds this past week. It's kind of slowed the tarpon bite down, but some guys are catching them around the bridges, Channel 2, Channel 5, live crabs, live mullet. There's a lot of mullet right now in the backcountry, and you can throw your cast net and get plenty of bait to go fishing with. I was fishing a couple of days ago with Robert Smith and Jeremy Thompson. I've got a photo. These guys are from Oklahoma. They've never seen a tarpon, and we had a live mullet off the East Cape Canal area on the bottom, and we caught this tarpon. It measured a 50-inch girth, 82 inches long to the fork, which put this fish about 230 to 50 pounds, and it's amazing that fish right there is going to live to fight another day. We measured it, we photographed it, we released it unharmed, and it was just a very exciting, great catch for these guys. And also for me, that's a fish of a lifetime right there.
All right, great report from the La Jolla, Florida Keys region, Randy. I'm going to go ahead and get to the hot spots from your region. I got to tell you, Lauren, that's a tremendous catch. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as the weeks go on. Tarpon, Channel 2 and Channel 5 drift live mullet or crabs on the bay side. Both tides have been good, guys. And then offshore, yellowtails anchor in 60 to 80 feet of water. Make sure you got those conditions that he talked about. Good current and good wind going in the same direction. Be patient because it's going to really pay off.
All right, incredible, Randy. Right now, let's check in to see what tournaments are going on in the Keys. First off, the Tarponian tournament, scheduled for April 28th through May 1st in Marathon, is a 3-evening tournament where teams fish with a different captain and rotate among 3 major bridge channels each evening. Also, a $10,000 top prize awaits the angler with the largest bull and cow dolphin combined at the Marathon Offshore Bull and Cow Dolphin Tournament. Set for May 3rd to the 5th, there are also prizes awarded to anglers who catch the largest dolphin, wahoo, tuna, triple tail, grouper, and snapper. Then the Nick Sheehan Dolphin Rodeo, set for May 3rd to the 5th in Isla Mirada, benefits the Namesake Community Scholarship Fund. There's a catch prize and $25,000 to the angler who catches a dolphin that beats the state record. Last but not least, Marathon's Mother's Dolphin Tournament, scheduled for May 10th and 11th, features $5,000 for the heaviest dolphin caught, and it benefits Habitat for Humanity in the Middle Keys. Now let's hand it over to Andy Newman in the Florida Keys to find out about the featured tournament. What do you got for us, Andy?
Well, Lauren, as you heard from Randy, the Silver Kings are indeed in the Florida Keys right now. And the Redbone at Large Tarpon Tournament is set for last weekend of April in Isla Mirada. It's the first of many tarpon tournaments of the season down here. Now, the neat thing about this tournament is that anglers will have the opportunity to fish optimum times for tarpon. On Saturday, April 27th, they'll fish from 5:30 in the morning to 10 a.m., and then again that afternoon from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. The next day, the angling hours are 5:30 a.m. to 10 a.m., and of course, the awards luncheon will begin right just before noon at the Lorelei Cabana Bar and Marina. Now, the Redbone at Large is one of a series of Keys-based tournaments that serve as fundraisers for cystic fibrosis research and treatment. More information on the Redbone and other tournaments and events in the Keys, it's at flakeys.com. One more note, if you're planning on traveling through the Middle Keys Saturday morning, make certain to be aware of the annual 7-mile bridge run. It'll temporarily close that bridge to traffic from 6:45 a.m. to 9 a.m. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks so much, Andy.
All right, Rick. Well, Captain Jimbo Thomas is our man for Captain Harry's Fishing Supply Southeast region. Captain Jimbo, a little while back, you caught a cobia off the Thomas Flyer that was over 100 pounds. Tell us about the cobia in your area right now.
Well, unfortunately, we haven't been seeing too many of them, but there's just the occasional cobia. There was a couple of them caught today, actually, off of a leatherback turtle right out front off Government Cut. But, you know, cobia are one of my favorite types of fish to catch. And in the Southeast region, the best cobia fishing is November through May. And we look for them following leatherback turtles, whale sharks, big stingrays, and even bull sharks. They'll also hang around any channel buoys, markers, and wrecks. And it's not uncommon to find a school of 20 or more cobia following a big stingray off the beach or in Hawks Channel. Now, I'm guessing that they follow these big stingrays because as these big stingrays glide across the bottom, they're spooking up crabs, shrimp, and other bait fish, and then the cobias are following, taking them off as they glide along the bottom. And then I'm not really sure why they follow the bull and the whale sharks or the turtles, but they do for some reason. And then when we do find them, they're usually not too picky what they want to eat. Most popular baits are pinfish, grunts, and live blue crabs, and then jigs with a large, like a rubber twister tail, or surface plugs. Those are also very productive. The average size is usually in the 25 to 30 pound range, but fish up to and over 50 pounds are definitely not uncommon. I like to use 20-pound spin outfits, 50-pound monofilament leader, and a 7.0 to 8.0 circle hook with a live pinfish. And probably the toughest part of catching a cobia is when it comes time to gaff them suckers, because they're usually still very lively. They're notorious for breaking gas and beating up the boat once they hit the deck.
All right, Jimbo, what else is happening in your region?
Well, you know, the offshore fish has been really good in the last few days. The current's been running, and the fish have been biting. Sails, dolphin have been on the edge, and kingfish have really started to show up really good throughout the region. We're not exactly killing them, but the size of these fish that we've been catching has been really good. I've had kings up to 38 pounds off government cut, and Captain Art Sapp has had fish up to 47 pounds off Boynton Inlet in the past week. Now, most of these fish we're catching on live herrings, pilchards, and goggle eyes. We're fishing in 80 to 120 feet of water, and most of them we're catching while we're fishing for sailfish under the kite. And to prevent cutoff, we've been going with the short piece of number 3 wire leader, 4.0 to 7.0 circle or J-hook, and the best bite's been early in the morning and late into the afternoon. Now we got a picture here, and this is Jim Williams, who is the 2013 chairman of CCA Florida, and that's a 31-pound kingfish that he caught aboard the Thomas Flyer.
All right, let's go inshore, Jimbo.
You got it. Inshore, we have snook and tarpon. In the north end of the region, look for snook in the inlets and around the bridges of the Intercoastal Waterway from Boca Inlet north to Lake Worth Inlet. And in the inlets, you want to fish with live mullet, croakers, and sand perch in the evenings on the high outgoing tides. And around the bridges, fish with live shrimp or work soft plastics or twitch baits along the shadow lines, also on the outgoing tide. Now, Captain Danny Barrow, he's been finding snook around the grass flats and sandbars of the Intercoastal Waterway from Boynton Inlet north to Lake Avenue Bridge. The snook have been following and feeding on schools of mullet in the shallows at high tide. Captain Danny's been cast netting the mullet, then he's cherry picking out these live mullet in the 8-inch range, and he's been catching snook up to 15 pounds. And then in the south end of the region, from Boca Inlet south to Government Cut, look for tarpon in and around the inlets in the bridges of the Intercoastal Waterway. Most of the tarpon have been in Government and Haulover cuts. They've been eating live shrimp fish on an 80-pound leader and a 7.0 circle hook in the evenings on both the incoming and outgoing tides. And then if you fish around the bridges, fish with live shrimp or swimming plugs along the shadow lines on the outgoing tide. That's been working the best. And some of these tarpon, especially in the inlets, have been up to 120 pounds.
All right, great report from the Captain Harry's Fishing Supply region, the Southeast region. Jimbo, I'm going to go ahead and get to the hot spots from your region. Captain Jimbo says inshore, catch and release snook in the ICW on live mullet, and then offshore, kite fishing in 90 to 120 feet of water for a mixed bag of kingfish, sailfish, and dolphin.
All right, guys, if you're looking for something fun to do with the family this weekend, check out Rock the Ocean's Tortuga Music Festival, April 13th and 14th, at Fort Lauderdale Beach Park. You busy?
I'm busy. I'm going to be at Blue Water Outriggers up there in Mexico Beach.
Liar, he just can't dance. All right,
Exactly.
Coming up, we're going to talk to the Midnight Rider, who's going to tell us all about cobia in the Southwest. And Dave is going to bring you some new products from the workbench.
I've been collecting stuff. We got to show it to you. Look at that.
Yeah.
You want that, don't you?
Cool
Can't
stuff,
have it.
Dave. Always got the best stuff. He's
Have
the
it.
stuff guy.
He's a stuff guy.
The Florida Insider Fishing Report is brought to you by CCA, the voice of recreational anglers for over 25 years. The Florida Keys and Key West. Come as you are. Hookup Lures, premium lures for serious anglers. La Jolla Resort, a place for family and fishermen. Maverick Boat Company, makers of premium brand boats. Maverick, Hughes, Pathfinder, and Cobia.
What do you ladies do when you need your vehicles repaired?
We used to call Harold, but now we have an even better way to find the best repairs in Florida. Visit BennettAuto.com and click on the Certified Service Centers link to find the one nearest to you.
It's hard to find a good mechanic that you can trust, but not anymore. Just go to BennettAuto.com, click on Certified Service Centers, and you can find the best mechanic with the best parts in Florida.
Everyone can get great parts and service from someone you can trust.
Now that's something to cheer about.
The Johnsons, right?
Yeah.
Which house is yours?
The one with the Silverado up front.
So, what do you do?
Well, nice.
And Bingo was his name.
The Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest-lasting, full-size pickups on the road. For work, for life, Chevy Silverado.
Hey, welcome back to the Chevy Florida Insider Fishing Report. And you know, over here at the Jägermeister Workbench, there's a lot of good stuff going on.
You remember that cartoon? It's a big one, and he's not happy.
I remember.
I was fishing for Cobia with Donnie Brown. I was using a mullet, but I should have been using a Hank Brown hookup jig because they got a brand new one. Look at that, brand new Cobia jig from Hank Brown's hookup Cobia jig. This is part of their new Syn series, you know, SYN for synthetic, which means, you know, you had a lot of those other pretty ones up here, but you leave those out on the boat for a little while and they fall apart. You know, these will never, you have to brush them. You can put them in some, you wash them out. You can actually even put them in some hair conditioner. After you've used it, softens them up.
Like
and you can
do
use
your
them,
cast nets.
Yeah, like you do your cast net or any of your island lures or any of that stuff. But these are the new, these come from 1 to 2.5 ounces. I think these are all 2 ounce with a big 8/0 must-add hook, which is, you know, when you're fishing for cobia, because they're so powerful, you got to have a big, strong hook in them, especially when you get close to the boat, because they do tend to go crazy. So these are hookup lures, new cobia jig.
All right, good job.
This is an Abu Garcia, a Revo Toro, and that is an NaCl, which, you know, NaCl is the chemical name for salt. And this is the new Abu Garcia saltwater bait casting reel, which my first bait caster that I started using for saltwater was a big Abu Garcia 5600C, a big black one. And I had to put that thing down because I couldn't figure out how to cast it.
You know,
but now they make them so easy to cast. You know, this thing has 7 ball bearings in it. It's got a nice braking system, so you don't keep throwing a big ball in it like I used to when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
This one has a nice clicker on it. It has 22 pounds of drag. It'll go up to 22 pounds of drag, which is way more drag than most people even use to catch a sailfish. It holds 330 yards of 30-pound braid, about 250 yards of 15-pound. So anything.
I like the big handles.
Well, and like that,
knobs.
you can use that, or you can, or if you don't like the twins, you can just put a single one on there, which a lot of guys like a big one to crank on if you're fishing for snook or any saltwater, redfish, trout, whatever.
All right, so what do we got here?
Oh, these. I was going to save these for last, but you picked them up, so we'll use them.
I'm afraid we might not get to them.
Well,
We're so long-winded sometimes.
Well, these are cool little lip balms that are one-handed from Vault. It's a Vault lip balm, and you can use these things with one hand. You know, we're always twisting around. We have little caps. We're always losing the caps off. You push that thing down, it comes out. You do your business, and push the button, and it goes back in. Isn't that cool?
I like that.
The lip balm. It's from Vault.
All right.
Vaulty.com. You go there.
All right, Dave, you want to go to the trolling lure, spotlight, camera? Where you going?
No, we'll do the Bonds lures. These are a friend of mine named Graham Bonds Fleet. He makes all these big trolling lures. We've actually cut some of these out so you can see how he puts. I cut the skirt out so you can see how he puts the rigging system on there. He uses a nice big swivel, and he has the soft rigging so you can slide that right up in there, and that keeps your hook set how you want it.
Right.
Either tight or haul. This one, I love the names. This one's called the Ballistic. This is the Mongrel Dog. This one's called Here for the Party, which, you know, a nice little lure like this. These lures are really good because he usually keeps the hole in the center, which is very important to make them go straight. A lot of guys sometimes will put the hole off center. They'll weight the lure so that they swim real erratically. When the lure is swimming real erratic, the fish has a hard time to catch it. You want most of your lures to just go straight in a nice straight plunge, you know, and that way the fish comes up to it and he can get a bead on it and pile on it instead of having to try to catch it swimming around back and forth. So Bonds, he makes some great stuff, and all of his stuff is, you know, center hole, nice flat face so it goes straight.
All right, you got about 45 seconds.
Well, that's the big Seaview reef camera, Reef Master Mini Elite. It's a whole kit. It comes with not only this nice digital flash, but the camera, and also, most importantly, which is what most people don't get when they get a nice underwater camera, is a wide angle lens. Oh. And this little wide angle lens slides right on here when you pop your flash off, you can slide this on and put this back on. But this little thing opens up your field of view to 33 degrees, so you can get real close up, like 12 inches, and get the whole scene instead of just one little spot. And when you're shooting macro pictures, especially underwater, you know, you got to get up close to really to catch the detail and the really small stuff. That's a camera that can do both, though, which is really good, the Sea Life Reef Master. And that whole kit comes in one deal now, so you don't have to keep buying the little pieces.
Well, the editor of Marlin Magazine knows how important it is.
I like to get good pictures.
Yeah, and obviously that's important to you. You know, Lauren, I'm wondering about if we got your attention with our sunscreen lip balm.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was going to say, Dave, I know you brought me one of those in my shade.
Yeah,
Blush Baby?
Yeah, pink.
No, Blush Baby. No.
Blush Baby pink.
Blush Baby.
I
yeah,
got you.
thank you. You guys,
I'm blushing myself now.
He brought it. I'll get it from him after the show. Out of the Southwest, the Midnight Rider, known during the day as Captain Ron Houston, has you covered. Hey, Ronnie.
How are y'all doing this evening? Listen, the Cobia in my region can be caught both inshore and offshore. Now, on the offshore side of this thing, you want to look for these fish constantly around structure or floating turtles or rays migrating on the outside Gulf. Or you want to look for these fish migrating back and forth from north to south. But then again, further north up into the region, on the inshore side, you guys want to concentrate on sandbars, grass flats, beaches, and passes. And this generally can be more common anywhere from Sanibel up to Charlotte Harbor. Now, both on the inshore and offshore side, basically when you see these fish, very times they can be skittish, but most of the time they're about the easiest fish to catch. You can use pinfish, threadfins, pilchards, live shrimp, also a variety of large chugging lures to get these fish to the boat, bucktails, soft plastics, anywhere from about 5 to 10 inch, even the artificial ones used inshore. Most guys will use artificial lures, but most soft plastics will work. The way we generally want to fish these fish is sight casting to them when we're off the wrecks. Typical size of these fish are anywhere from 15 to 45 pounds, with some fish up to 60. And this cobia was just caught a few days ago with Captain Mike Avedon and Roland. These are some of the fish right now being caught in the region.
All right, Ronnie, what else you got for us?
You know, we've had some light southerly and southeasterly winds for the last couple of days in awfully clean Gulf water. The triple tail bite has been good with the low winds that we've been having actually through the whole region, anywhere from Lossman's River all the way up to Lemon Bay. Now, this is a run and gun pattern. Light winds, like I said, you want to concentrate on the last half of the outgoing and the first half of the incoming on the tide lines following the outer Gulf, which a lot of guys don't do. Head pins, nearshore wrecks, swim buoys, and crab pots anywhere from the beach line out to 12 miles out. Now, most common baits being caught to catch these fish right now are bucktails or live shrimp on a troll right, small pilchards, also a variety of 3 to 4 inch soft plastic paddle tails and shrimp imitations. Now, I can tell you what, on the run and gun pattern, there's lots of small ones out there right now. I don't know if because they're getting pressured or that's the size of them. It's good practice for people to be getting out there trying to catch these fish, but in between, plenty of opportunity to be there for the keeper-sized fish. So be ready. Typical size to the fish right now in the region are anywhere from 3 to 12 pounds.
All right, let's go inshore, Ronnie.
You know, in the inshore bite, we don't talk about it a lot, but it's a fun bite, especially for the family and kids, especially when the wind picks up. The mangrove snapper bite right now are anywhere from Coon Key to Round Key. You want to concentrate on fishing inside and middle islands, anywhere from Fishhawk Creek to Gate Bay. Concentrate on points with swift current. Also, submerged wood and deadwood along shorelines. Concentrate on this, especially early in the morning on the lower stages of the tide. Now, you can chum with live pilchers to locate these fish, but strictly baits of choice include live shrimp, a variety of bucktail stipwood shrimp in brown, yellow, and black, and a variety of scented soft plastics in root beer, white and good penny, on a quarter-ounce bass assassin jighead. Plenty of snappers being caught in the region working that pattern, but this area right now seems to be getting some of the bigger keeper-sized snapper. A little further to the north, the redfish. Going to concentrate on Hickory Pass and Matanza Pass, fishing flats and oyster bars at the lower stages of the tide. That'll be first thing in the morning. I strongly suggest using walk-the-dog lures in chartreuse, white, and chrome. Also, gold spoons as the tide gets high in the afternoon or on the last of the incoming, hitting schools of mullet before they get to the shorelines for protection. But the mangrove shorelines and independent islands on the higher stages of the tide, baits of choice have been live pilchards or cut bait. Typical size of these fish, especially when the sea breeze blows in the afternoon up along the mangroves, is anywhere from 18 to 27 inches.
Great job, Ronnie. We're looking forward to working with you every week. I'm going to go ahead and get to the Southwest region hotspots from your region. Captain Ronnie says, inshore, redfish, Tarpon Bay to Redfish Pass, fishing early morning low with topwater plugs, gold spoons, or 4-inch soft plastics on jig heads. And then offshore, kingfish, Gordon Pass, redfish pass, fishing wrecks, ledges, 8 to 12 miles out using pilchards, blue runners, white bucktails, or even maybe a silver spoon, Lauren.
Alrighty, stay with us guys. When we return, we're going to see what Jeff Hageman has for us in the Northwest.